Hello.
Hi.
Hey. All right. Ah, Ribhu. Ah, bless you, my friend. Good to see you.
Same.
Hi, Sonaja.
Hi, love.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
It's good. Sorry, we're a little bit late.
Oh, it's good. It's
Quite a
good.
few things going on.
Yeah.
Caught with practicality.
A what? Cultural?
No, I was caught with practicalities.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. You look
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
leave you guys to it.
Okay. Thank
Love you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye. Ribhu.
Hey.
There you are.
Yeah.
Ah, really good to see you.
Same.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this. I'm gonna wait to start the recorder.
Okay. So
Um,
now it's we kind of off the record, so we can ask you where are you and
oh, good.
where are you broadcast? Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So are you in your home now?
I'm in my home. Yep, yep.
Okay.
This is my study. I spend a lot of time in here. I have a sofa. I have out the back. I have some blue drop cloths on in a screen enclosure because it's snow out there, and I don't want the snow to come into my porch. It's cold outside. Maybe I don't know what the Celsius is. It's like 20 degrees outside. Pretty cold.
20.
20.
20 Fahrenheit.
20-degree Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of Celsius. So what?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. We have there's snow outside
Mhm.
and pretty mild winter. We we live in a house on a river. It's a tidal river. It goes up and down with the tide,
Yeah.
with the ocean. We're about 6 miles inland from the ocean, and we're on a river. So it's good. It's good to be with you.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. So the show is an hour.
Okay.
It's an hour show, and I'll pause the show at about 28 minutes. I have a little timer here, and I'll pause the show and I'll say it's time to take a station break for Unity FM radio. We'll be right back, and then we'll say a couple words, and then we'll come right back to the show and do the show. It's two 28-minute segments where
220.
where the radio show has a commercial that comes in between, comes in the middle of it, and it's a lot of fun. We'll have fun with it. We'll a little bit talk I'll ask some questions like a stranger would, but it mostly for the show. I mean, it's really all for the show, but it's an easy. I look forward to doing this with you. It'll be great. So I'm going to start the recording, and also the video is being recorded, and I may use the video sometime on my website if there's some pieces of it that would be good, but it's only for really if it's helpful for others. That's really all this show is for. Is so that it may stir the truth in someone in their
Yeah.
own journey. That's really what it's for. So I'll start the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pure Presence, the Power of Being Free. My name is Rishi, and I am on a Skype interview with a good friend, Ribhu from Sahaja. Welcome, Ribhu, to Pure Presence, the Power of Being Free.
Thank you very much, Rishi. Very
Yes.
happy to be here.
Yeah. Wow. This takes me back, Ribhu, to the first time I was at Sahaja, I met you and Vishnu, you and Mahesh, and it's like, and then also Adam is
Jaya.
Jairam, and it's just like it just became this community, and I mentioned all men, but because I sort of gravitated to the men at Sahaja, Zenji, and many others. I just really found when I came to Sahaja 4 years ago that you all, men and women, Mooji, Guruji, everyone made me feel very much a part of the community, and right away I felt like I had found my people, my friends. But we were there we were there just in service, really, to whatever the direction that Mooji would, or someone else that was in charge of a project would need help with. And so I want to say thank you also. As you know, I just really have been very, very moved and have this really great connection with you and with all of those that I spoke of and many others at Sahaja.
Maybe I can just say something about it, because it's very I feel whatever you say, I feel like I feel it, this connection, and I have to say that the funny thing about Monte Sahaja is that it's not really, whoever came here didn't come to start a community or to live. If you look at the people one by one that came here, somehow they all came because they had a call for they had some. It's an inner thing, and somehow this byproduct was this strong bond. But actually, the vibration of the place is actually an inner thing. It's much more deep than just to live in a community. And I just want to, and that's why it's perceived also in that way that it's so beautiful, because it's not really, nobody came with an agenda to live together or to create some kind of a commune in a, with a certain vibe, or ecological, or anything like that. It's just everyone came for himself, for his own freedom, and I think that's why it works so beautifully in that sense that you express it. It's just something is very clean, very clean.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for pointing that out, and it really does have an organic. It sort of evolves. Each day is different from the day before, and no one really has an attachment to what today brings. It's just a very free experience of awakening. It's a free experience of experiencing the life in a different way.
Yeah, I can tell you that because you can be the judge of that, because you've been in Monte Sahaja, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. 4. Yeah.
And 4 years ago, and you came back recently,
year.
maybe last year, 6
Mm-hmm.
months or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the expression, like, everything is grown much bigger, and there's a lot of structure, so-called structure, but actually the inner thing hasn't changed at all. Like it's still like, because I can see the change, I can see the evolving, the outward evolving, but the inner, you can say, the inner commitment, and it's only for your own freedom. And whoever is not here for that, he would find himself, he wouldn't be able to stay, because it's really, this place is the whole pulse of this place is Guruji's pointing, and himself, like, because he's that, he's like, everything that he does is for this, somehow, for people to really see what is actually.
Yeah. So, Ribhu, where are you from?
I'm from Israel originally.
Israel.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what drew you to Mooji the first time when you first met
Uh,
him?
it was it was very strange experience for me for that time, because I did have some experiences that brought me to this kind of this, let's say, you can say, no mind experiences that uh, but then it was gone, and then I was looking for whatever could um, basically it was kind of, they call it no, I can call it no return point,
Mm.
that you kind of lose interest in whatever was interesting before, in terms of uh, achieving something in life, or getting a life, or whatever, study, or it was just everything in a moment was gone for me. So uh, I came back to India after that experience, when it happened in the first time when I went to India, and I came back the second time to kind of uh, regain some experiences that I've had. But I had no concept of a living master, living teacher. I didn't know that somebody actually uh, lives this. Like,
Mm.
I only read it in a book
Yeah.
before, and then when I saw him in Varanasi in the burning gut, and he was just standing, and I never seen anybody so silent. There was just his silence was shouting. I just couldn't. I just stood next to him, and I'm quite a shy guy. I'm not really, but I just, that day I kept bumping into him, and I sat next to him in the chai shop, and I just didn't understand, but I knew that something is happening here. But I was just attracted to him in a very strong way. And then I didn't see him for a week, and I was actually leaving Varanasi. And then I bought a ticket out, and I went and sat in a little chai shop. And then that's the only place they put a little poster about satsang. And then I understood he's probably is a teacher. I didn't know what satsang is. And then I went and saw him the next day, and that was it for me. I mean, I came there, and there were 10, 15 people there. It was a very small gathering. And at the end, he spoke to me. I didn't really necessarily understood what he said, but I just felt the presence it was just something I haven't seen before. And when he embraced me at the end of the meeting, I just felt this. I felt something that was just this unconditional love that I haven't felt before. Like, doesn't want anything from you. It's just something very, very pure, and it felt like I don't need to search anymore in that sense. Like, this is it for me.
Mm.
And from there, things went on. I don't know if you want to hear more about it, but it's yeah, somehow I was lucky enough to bump into him, and from then I'm with him.
Mm.
From then.
Yeah. Well,
So,
so were you in India looking for the truth, seeking this no mind experience or a teacher?
yes, yes. I was actually inside some kind of a yoga practice, and through that I was trying to gain this experience,
Mm.
but it was very a lot of struggle involved.
Mm.
Was involved in that. So it wasn't really, yeah, but anything I wanted to do didn't work. And at
Mm.
that point, I met him. So it's everything was leading to the meeting with him, basically. So,
Mm.
but I definitely came to India for that.
Yeah. And how has your how has your life as the person, uh, watching the person, has the life of Ribhu changed? How has it changed? Different?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you mean, of course, the inner the my inner life have changed completely. I mean, it's hard to. I can only say what's happening now for me.
Mm.
And it's very clear that whatever is going on, as thoughts, feeling, whatever manifest, there's something that is prior to that, and there's no need to get entangled in that. So there's this space that is not really involved somehow in the mind chatter or worldly life, though it continues, and it's things still going on in that sense, but it's okay.
Mm. Do you find that having that experience of as a watching the mind chatter, the body experience, do you find that the being the watcher of observing that allows or causes those things to not be very have much power?
Yes, it's almost feels sometimes like a choice in any given moment to go with the habit or just to stay where you are. So it's very freeing, though sometimes there's a little bit of there could be some entanglement for a bit, but then it's in, and then there's no need to go on with that. You don't need to reverse your steps. It's immediate somehow.
Yeah. The experience that you're describing is very. I have a recent experience where I was watching an entanglement, and that I was involved in emotionally or with some kind of energy, and I was discussing it with my wife, and as I was watching the person discuss the situation, I saw it as if I was watching it, and the moment that I saw that I was watching it, it just seemed ridiculous to want to take place, to continue with that, and it seemed like it just, looking at it, made the choice not to be involved in it. Does that make sense? Just looking at it.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. It's not something you need to do. It's just some kind of a detached awareness somehow, and then it's okay. Everything is okay. You don't need to keep this chain of thinking. It's okay just to leave it. Let it, because in a way, like, there's no need to try and stop the mind, because that's never going to work. Just this space that is not the mind, which is what you are. And
yes. How does that work for you? Are you in a relationship with someone?
Yes.
You're married?
Yes.
How does that work in a relationship? How does that dynamic operate for you?
It's actually very, very beautiful, because in a sense, because we came together because of we both having the same pull towards the truth, towards Guruji, and that's how we met. And you can say we also each other's guru in that way. So if something comes up, there's no need to go to this. First of all, I find myself many times consulting her about things, not necessarily that only between us, and also the same for her. So we really each other um, showing each other many times things that the other one cannot see. And also there's something in the relationship itself that goes deep, because you are it's somehow it could be more challenging than just having a friend or a different relationship which is not a partner kind of romantic relationship, because it's also that it brings up stuff in that way. But then when you can all use anything that comes up for your own seeing somehow. And I think in Sahaja, in Monte Sahaja, this is the beautiful thing, because everything that happens here is for you to see something. So that's why thing doesn't linger so much. So if there's some friction or some you have to confront something with someone, you don't really you're almost not allowed to take things personally. Like you really have to take things in, and the practical side is always solve itself once the inner thing is resolved, because if something happens around you, it's always something for you to see. And that's the maturity that we have here, and that's why I feel things in that sense are working quite good. And with my wife, I feel very fortunate, because we share the same love for truth, and that's why it can work. Otherwise, I don't know if it would be possible.
Yeah. I think it. It is helpful if you're both in the experience of only wanting the truth, only allowing things to show up. Doesn't mean that you're if you're doing this together, it's helpful to know where the other might be coming from, and to let it be, and to just allow it to happen, right?
I didn't get the question. If you can.
Well, it in the practice, of just being present and watching when you're with a partner, it can be a little bit tougher, because they see everything, and it does take you deeper into your own shit, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it helps to have someone who is okay with you, blowing a screw, being upset for a minute, and just allowing you to be with it. And then that partner is going to help you when you're ready for help.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sometimes, it could be good fun to fight sometimes, and many times, you can say something that she can say something that blows me up for a bit, and then I just have to relax a bit, but then it's just it's very helpful. I can say it's very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, for me, as you know, I teach and I follow A Course in Miracles. Also, I love Advaita. I love Mooji, and I think he is the living master, an embodiment of what A Course in Miracles points to for anyone that really follows it. Mooji really teaches at a level that is beyond time and space in my mind. He's not even in the structure. So his pointings are very helpful for me to see, okay, that's what it looks like. That's what a living master looks like. That's what the blank mind really that's a model of a blank mind or a no mind, where a presence is there. It is always whatever, I don't know how to say it, but that would be Mooji. And A Course in Miracles really uses a reflection of your brother. Yes, things that come up that your sister, your brother, your wife, your friend may cause you to have some kind of tension or some energy with. It's really it's showing you an outside picture of something that's keeping you from having that more awakened state experience. Yes, do you follow that?
Yeah.
So it's a projection.
Yeah. No, I would say that I heard the Guruji said once that if somebody come to you and tell you something that is completely, from your perspective, completely wrong, and you get really upset, and you feel you still, if you just, you still have something to take in from that. It doesn't mean that it's not really about the fact. It's just something that needs to burn up something. Mm. If you don't take it personally, it's just gonna clean you out. And I find this thing so beautiful, and it's true. It's really true, because it's all about the inner attitude, the way you meet life somehow, And if you don't have to label anything as I've been done something wrong was done to me, or it's not true, and you just take it in a very you can say positive way, or just for your own, because at the end of the day, everything is manifest for us. It's all for me somehow, whatever, it all comes back to me, it's all, like you said, that's what I understood from what you said, and I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is your did you find what you were looking for when you found Mooji?
Yes.
And how long was your search? Was that something that you were searching for?
Well, I can say one thing, that I found the one who can take me home. Now there's still some process that has been going on since then, but it's absolutely clear, like you said, because once you meet a true master, I mean, I'm blessed to have the eyes to see it, and also you. And because not everybody, like some people meet him and they're not, and some people meet him for a quick, they have something very strong and then they leave, and they don't really take much. But it's hard to judge this thing. But I'm just grateful that I have God showed me led me to meet Guruji. And yes, I'm just see what is, because that's the only way to be with him, is to really take in this pointing somehow.
Yeah.
Because there's not really like a personal relationship with him, even though sometimes it may seem like it. But if you spend time with him, you see that it's only for this inner resolve that is here for us. That's the only thing that he has interest, you can say.
Yeah.
It's just it's mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. Well, we're going to take a break. This is Unity FM Radio, the show Pure Presence. We have Ribhu with us from Sahaja today. And I'm just so blessed to have my friend Ribhu on the other side of the screen with me. I love this guy. I love his wife. I love everything that he's talks about. And this is why we're coming to Sahaja, because I love Sahaja so much, and the purpose of Sahaja is so clear to me. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back. Okay, cool. That was half of it. I love to hear you talk this way. Very good. Yeah, I'm going to put it back on. Welcome back to Pure Presence, the Power of Being Free with Rishi and Ribhu. And Ribhu is an old friend. He's one of the first that I met at Sahaja. When I came to Sahaja, he really made me feel welcome. Quite a good friend, and he is a very, very, very hard worker. This guy works. He's like a machine. He and Vishnu are like two machines, Sahaja machinery. So you guys, thank you so much for making me feel so welcome at Sahaja, Ribhu.
It was a pleasure to spend time with you, and like we spend now, because just very joyful. So,
yeah. One thing I noticed that just before the break, as you were speaking, I was thinking, at Sahaja, we really never did have the times where we would sit down and talk about these things. We were just embracing. It's like it's an unspoken experience that takes the place of words. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, there's no need necessarily to talk all the time, because of course there's the spontaneous satsangs with Guruji, and there's also everything that happens is satsang somehow. So sometimes it comes in the form of work, sometimes in a more like official form, or but whatever we do, there is this there's this vibe somehow. And of course, if things comes up sometimes for people, and then we talk, or it's part of the life here also. But there's not there's not any agenda to talk about something, or to it's just
yes,
the spontaneous.
Yeah, I noticed the last time I was there that that I came with a little bit of an attitude of being a little chatty, and I felt in being that way that it just maybe wasn't appropriate, or it wasn't necessary. I found there was something that, it was the mind actually that was wanting to like sort of be, here I am, being active. Do you find that as Sahaja sort of a culture?
What to
just not just be real? I mean, the first time I was there 4 years ago, Mooji invited everyone to be quiet for dinner, because there were 6 conversations going on, and he it was like it was chaos. And because of that, everyone seemed to move, including myself, into a space of real, you're eating, you're not socializing, you're being more in purpose of like an inner contemplation.
Yes, it's just we kind of learn as we go, because we started as a very small, when you came also, it was still very small, like a family. And as we go in numbers, I mean, we're not like too big, but just when it became a few more, then we realized we had to put some boundaries. Otherwise, things are getting a bit noisy, like you said, and that's not the point of us being here. And also, it's the experience is not so nice. Like, you don't want to feel like you sit in a restaurant in the middle of the city. So it was important at some point to really set some rules, so we can live. That we won't forget why we came here somehow, and everybody really had to take it in, and somehow there was this maturing and it still does actually, it still does, because we find some things that doesn't work, then we change them, and there's this. It's a very this organ that called Monte Sahaja is a very fluid, and things are changing all the time in that way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not a place. I find that it's a breathing. It's like a living experience
yes.
within itself. The way it has evolved, and I do feel like when you come to Sahaja, you come there for a reason. You come there for a purpose, and it's not for the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's to dissolve the person, really.
Yes. Yeah, you don't come to work. You don't come to build. You don't come to plant trees or whatever, to feed the pigs. You come to find yourself, to find something that has been burning for you, like to this itch, this inner itch that you just want to resolve this thing inside that called you to come here. Like it could be that you saw. Many people come here now these days that they saw Guruji on YouTube, and then they have this. They want to meet him physically, which is a very strong step. And of course, somebody who comes here, he comes for that. He doesn't come for anything else.
Right. Yeah.
That's the main. That's the main. Though sometimes there is somebody comes because he can do something, but the main reason that, like for example, you came because you had some skills, but you didn't come for that. You came because you had this inner calling to spend some time with Guruji.
Right. Yeah. The best was the last time I was there in July. I came completely for the purpose of satsang, of being around Guruji and the Sangha, and it had, because I feel that I was more open, more available to surrender. I feel that it was more effective the last time. Yeah. And it was, and I also enjoy working with so many beings. I love, because you get to connect with people, and that's part of it. I mean, Guruji is, and it's playful too. I mean, he's squirting water on us. Big groups of people getting squirted water on. So it's not a too serious experience. It's a playful but a purposeful connection that allows you to just to be yourself, but also be there in purpose.
I mean, if you are there for it can take many shapes, because also I never met anybody whose expression is so broad like Guruji. Like it's really out of this world. Like he can speak to anyone. It doesn't matter which level of understanding, which background, which he reached anyone, because he sees you. He experiences from inside of you, somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but it just yeah. So the experience here, everybody experiences what he needs to experience somehow, But some people experience a lot of hardship when they come, and sometimes they just want to go. They have all this resistance, and then you work through it. You keep. If you vigilant enough, you can really go through this stuff and really gain this clarity, clarity of seeing.
Yeah.
And that's very, very beautiful. And that's why this place is was formed, let's say, for this being.
Yeah. You mentioned that Guruji will take you all the way home. And what does that mean to you? Does the body have to die? The person have to die, or does going all the way home a metaphor or a phrase of something else?
That means that is resolving yourself somehow in the understanding that this body mind is not what I am. So there's no need to take it in a dramatic way in that sense, but there is something that there's something that sometimes entertain doubts, and I can see that all doubts are postponement somehow. You know, even now, if I speak to you, I cannot tell you I have doubts, because just at the moment I'm saying it, it's already seen somehow. Mm. So, but there is something, I don't know how to say it. I don't know. There is something that is just happening by itself, and I cannot. Some energetic thing, and I feel that this is something that it's clearing itself out somehow. The mind is still coming up, but there's the clarity is just cleaning something. Can you relate to that? Or?
Oh yes, I do completely. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I want to be, I don't want to speak words that just sounds like something in the air. I want to be down to earth somehow, because I don't want to give the impression that the teaching is something. It's very practical and very direct, and that's my experience also. So, but at the same time, sometimes it's not so easy to put things into words.
Yeah. Well, that was very clear, and I did get the meaning of it. And having been to Sahaja, I know that the environment brings you, the environment of Sahajas, I don't know how it works or why, but it sort of brings stuff up that's in there, and you're looking at it, and it's just I only needed to speak to a couple of people. I spoke to Zenji once when something was cooking, spoke to Amar, and maybe 10 words are spoken, but to have a brother or a friend there that would kind of connect, or even you. I think I mentioned something to you that if you're going through something in your relationship, you looked at me one day, I think we were in the office, and you said, Bill, Rishi, relationships are designed to fail. Do you remember that? Or marriages are designed to fail because they bring everything up from the bottom. Yeah.
I don't remember saying that.
Huh? Do you remember saying that?
No, I don't. But,
no, you don't. Well, maybe it was. I thought it was you. Maybe it was Vishnu.
It could be that I've said that. I'm not denying that. If you remember.
But what do you think about that? Are relationships designed to fail or to have problems?
Yeah, to have problems, definitely. It's it just I don't know. It's part of the play. Like if you don't like what I can see, because fights are, or some kind of struggles, or because the two different points of view, and it's okay sometimes to disagree and to have a bit of an argument, a hot argument, and then you just, if you don't take it too seriously, then it's completely fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Actually, it could be good sometimes, for the relationship.
Mm.
To have a hot fight argument.
Yeah. Well, for me, it it allows me to see the energy that's buried, that I'm not looking at, but this one that is that's with me, and it could even be someone else. It could be someone you're working with, and that person is there exactly at the giving you the opportunity to have an experience of something that is blocking, or is in the way, or is something that is not allowing you to experience your full truth. Does that make sense?
So it just shows you something, you're saying.
Well, when I was at Sahaja the last time, I I got mad at somebody that was working with me.
Yeah.
I got angry, and I got pissed off, and I said, I'm not I'm not here for this. This is too much conflict and chaos. And what I realized when I left there, that I totally love this person. I love this brother, and whatever is coming up for me is for me. And this situation just happened to be the perfect experience to bring up something that I couldn't see, that was buried. And then I went to my bungalow and I sat there and I just allowed it to cook. I allowed it to be there, pissed off, and then I'm looking at this experience, and so I'm allowing that experience, that encounter, to free me, to liberate me into the joy and the expression of love that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, we don't give too much importance at the same time for these things. Like they come up and then we quickly move through them. There is, it's just not. You don't give it too much space. You sometimes something come up, you look at it, and then there's no need to spend too much time over these things, because at the end of the day, just like you said, it all comes back to you, and just you're seeing. You stay with your who is seeing all of that somehow, and I see that the power of the sangha is very strong, like of the friends here, because many times you yourself cannot see something because it's some kind of a blind spot, and then I come to you and I say, you have to take a look at this, and sometimes you still wouldn't see, and there has to be what I know from my experience is that many times you have to also to have the wisdom to kind of let go and give the other one space, because you see something and you know it. Like sometimes I see something and I know it, but I have to kind of because they still cannot see, and it's not like they don't want to see, they just cannot see it. It's just like, and you see all this kind of resistance, and you have this kind of, and then what I learned is that sometimes someone just cannot see, and you have to also, you cannot just come and point the finger. You have also to come with, at that point, to come with some kind of support and love. Like you cannot just and give the space also for somebody to really process this thing, because many times it's things that's been kind of dormant somehow, and then they come up here in this environment, and it takes some time for the there's a way, and there's a way to see these things, and for them to and then clarity comes again after you can somehow, if you are lucky enough to really see it, because not everybody can see it in their own self.
What's it like for you to work for Mooji, to work for the Sangha? What's that like? What's that life like?
No, it's funny because I never felt I'm working for him. I always, I just, I don't, I feel if I'm working for myself somehow because it's really, yeah. Otherwise, how can you explain this? Like, why would I be here? I mean, it's really privilege and joy for me to be here and to be so close and to be among this. It's really like a very very strong feeling of family, you know, like because but in a very special way. And yeah, it's just I can say it's a joy. It's I'm very happy that I'm I'm lucky enough to be here. You know.
Yeah. You live there full time?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what is you are you're involved in? You have a project. You have are you a project manager for some part of the land, some part of the ashram?
I'm doing 50. I'm doing whatever is needed on the land. You know, like recycling, the waste management, the shopping. Sometimes I'm also moving with Guruji, part of his entourage, so I get to travel with him. So that's a big privilege.
Mm.
And, yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed we were in satsang when I was there in July,
Yeah.
and it looks like when Guruji is coming in, he has like someone to accompany him.
Mm-hmm.
You were with him one day. Vishnu was with him another time, and it looks like you're almost there as a just as a sort of a I don't know what would you call that, but when somebody's coming unglued, like they're losing their emotions, or coming unglued, it looks like that person is there to sort of help if they're not stable. Is that would that?
Yeah, you can say we were there to support the satsang, you know,
Yeah.
the participant and Guruji if needed. Just it's nothing. I wouldn't call it in any big name. It's just we are there to support. You know, it's not. Yeah, sometimes people have some reactions and they need some, you know, some support. The participants sometimes to help somebody off the stage or things like that. So it just things that go very organically.
Yeah.
And because when there's more people coming to see Guruji, then of course there's more things needed somehow.
Mm.
So it seems like everything, because since I've met him, I saw how things just go very. It's amazing how spontaneous the movement is. You know, like for example, I'll just give you an example. Okay, the satsang when I first came, people were passing the microphone from wherever they sat, and then the first in one season, the first satsang, the first person just came to Guruji and sat just in front of him, and there was no plan, nothing, and then the interaction felt much stronger. So since then, people start coming and sit in front of him and have this interaction. Of course, that's changed since then again, but I'm just it's just an example, and it was just completely spontaneous, but it was just so beautiful to see how things just move in a, like everything is organized by some power that
The universe.
yes,
The universe is in charge.
whatever you call it, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So what's it like to live in this community of Sahaja as a you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You don't know what next week. How is that life of not having a plan? What's that like?
I don't know if it's like that in practical term. I mean, we do plan things, and but the point is that maybe I don't know if that's what you're trying to point is that really there's not like a membership here. You know, it's not like I'm here, I'm living here for life. It's really not like that, and that's a very strong point that everybody that are here. Okay, some people because some people need to be here, you know, to maintain and somehow, but everybody is here for their own freedom, and nobody is here as a, you know, there's nobody that has like a promised place, and there's no, you don't pay to buy your place here. It's really like your own thing. And if for some reason you're not really here for this or something, then you will find your way out. If something is not fresh anymore, and you don't just maintain a life here, okay, because you want to live in a community in the south of Portugal, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what you were pointing at.
Well, it sounds like you're describing Sahaja to be really you're there to find yourself. You're there to find the self, to come into a place, an investigation or an inquiry, so that you can find the true self, identity. And that's the purpose of Sahaja. That seems to be the purpose of Mooji.
Yes, and you can, and after you get you can find understanding and still stay. It's not really like, but you have to have this kind of authenticity while you're here, and this can be, and this is very clear. So, in that sense, there is no future. You can say, you know, like. Yeah, and that's I find it very beautiful because it's really the pointing is just is all the time with you because you have no future somehow. Yeah. Also here in this place, you know.
So, no past, no future. You're right here,
but not in a very practical, but also in an inner, you know, like. No, not in some kind of this, you know, cliches. I have no like, no, really like. That's why, and it's really Sahaja is the inner, is a state. That's why he called it Sahaja, because it's the natural state, the Sahaja Samadhi, yeah. Which is so.
We have about a minute left on the radio show. Ribhu, what would you like to share? What would you share from your heart experience with the listeners that might just be a helpful comment, a helpful to help someone who is seeking as you were, or maybe they found their guru, maybe they found Mooji as their guru, as their teacher, as we have found, and what would you like to say to the listeners that before we go?
Well, just if you find the Guruji, then just follow the pointing and just stay inside yourself. Means don't follow your thought, don't follow your mind. Just be true to yourself. And I'm not saying this as a cliche. I'm just really saying it's really can be your inner experience also, and your life can really flow from this place of truth. And there's no need to follow the mind. There's no need to identify with it. There's no need to be involved. It's all okay. Everything is okay.
Very good. Nice. Thank you very much. I love you.
I love you too.
I think I'm just so happy that I'm able to see you again this way. This is Pure Presence, the power of being free. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ribhu. I really love you, man. I think you're just you made me such a. I mean, I have this. I feel like you're my brother. Thank you for showing up the way you do.
Thank you. How was your interviews until now?
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
The interviews are. Do you know Vidya? Vidya?
The older lady.
Yeah, she's a cellist.
Yes.
And Zahira and Karunama, they're all. Last week was Deva, and I'm having a really good time. They're good shows. They're really good shows. Sometimes I started noticing in the beginning, after I left Sahaja, that I was making them a little too personal, and so it's not a social thing. This is really this radio show was. I was inspired when I left Sahaja the last time to have my own radio show that wasn't so much about A Course in Miracles, but was more about awakening, more about the self-inquiry. And I was inspired by Mooji to call it pure presence, because I really feel that that's what he is. He is pure presence. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be back. I'll be back to see you this summer.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'll see you probably around June or July.
Mirabai is calling.
Huh? Okay. Give Mirabai my love.
So you're coming June or July, you said?
Yeah, June or July. I'll be there for about 3 weeks. I haven't set it up yet, but that's what my plan is.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Give Mirabai and Vishnu and Zinji, give all those guys, Jairam, give them a hug for me. I love them.
Okay.
Love them all.
Thank-
Mahesh,
Love to your wife also.
thank you. Same to you. And give my love to Guruji.
Okay, I will.
All right, thank you. Give him a hug for me.
Okay.
This is from Rishi. All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.